Hey, Stanley!
Yes, sir.
You'll be doubling as a waiter tonight, so once you're done cleaning, get dressed in a suit and get ready to serve the guests.
Sir, I'm supposed to close by 7 p.m. That's the end of work hours for me, sir.
Well, not today. You'll probably be here till tomorrow morning. One of the waiters fell ill, so you'll have to take his place.
Sir, does this mean I'll be paid his wage instead since he won't be coming in? The director burst into laughter.
Dream on, Stan. You're not getting paid a dime for the extra hours you'll be working. If you're not happy with that, feel free to quit. There are millions of janitors ready to replace you. And in case you don't know, these people are happy to be paid half your salary for more work.
Half of $2 per hour? I asked, surprised. Who in the world would want to be paid $1 per hour? I only took this job because I was dying of hunger. Sir, could I just get a tiny little bit of money from you? You didn't tell me about the event earlier, so I didn't bring anything decent to wear. I have to go back home, pick up something, and come back. He rolled his eyes and gave me my exact payment for the day. Nothing for the transport to go home and return again on the same day. Sir, this is my payment for the day.
I'm aware.
If I go home and come right back with this, I'll not be able to go home after the event or even get something to eat. I haven't had anything for almost 2 days.
And you look so strong and healthy, I think you should starve yourself for a few more days so you'd feel better.
I could feel the tears roll down my face as he walked away. I rounded my cleaning up and walked to the gate, but a security officer stopped me.
Stan, my boy, what's up? Going home?
Not really. I have to get something decent to wear and come back.
Why? You're done for the day?
The director gave me extra work. I'm doubling as a waiter tonight.
Oh, that's good news. Extra cash, huh?
The tears that formed in my eyes answered his question.
Completed the school fees yet?
I burst into tears. No, I think I may have to drop out. He patted my back, feeling sorry for me.
Follow me.
He took me to his locker where he brought me out a worn-out suit. It was baggy and kind of torn, but I was so grateful. I knelt down and hugged his legs.
Please, stop it,
he said as he went back to his position, squeezing $20 into my hand before leaving. This action meant the whole world to me because I knew that he wasn't getting paid much either, as we were grossly underpaid and undervalued in the company. Hi, my name is Stanley, and today I'm sharing how I escaped the shackles of poverty and became a billionaire by doing something simple. Hit the like and subscribe button if you also want to become a billionaire without breaking a sweat. The event tonight was a fundraiser hosted by a crazy billionaire called the Mad King. I ran around serving drinks, snacks, and cleaning up after people. The Mad King donated to various charities that night, and the crowd went wild with happiness.
Guys, calm down. I know you all love me. Yeah!
The crowd replied.
Phew, look at these waiters running around and cleaning up after us. Such a hard and unappreciated job. Do you guys know that I once worked as a waiter? What?
No, impossible. I don't believe it.
Really? Yup, I did. This is your lucky day, waiters, because today I'll be giving you all $10,000 each.
We all jumped happily. Our director quickly climbed up the stage and took a different mic.
Wow, you're even more amazing than we all thought. Sir, we respect you so much,
he said while bowing down to the Mad King.
Who are you?
The Mad King looked concerned.
I'm the director of this event hall, sir. I'll be taking the money for all the waiters whom I'm in charge of. We are 6 in number. Oh, of course. Great.
The Mad King wrote down 6 $10,000 checks and gave them to our director. First of all, there were only 5 waiters. Secondly, why did he need to take our checks? I mean, we have hands. As the director walked past us with an evil smirk on his face, we knew that we'd probably never see our $10,000 checks, ever. There was no way I was going to let this happen, though. I needed money to solve a lot of problems. I needed to pay for school, rent, medicine, my sick and dying mother's medical treatment, and much more. I couldn't let him just walk away with my $10,000 gift. So I followed him and stopped him in the hallway close to the kitchen. Director, please wait. Could I have my own check? I just want to keep it safe myself. Thank you so much for receiving it on my behalf, sir. The director turned slowly while staring me down.
Get lost, fool. You work for me, so your money is my money. Your gifts are my gifts. You're not getting any check.
I burst into tears for the 3rd time that night. Please, sir, I beg you, please. I need some money for school fees, rent, feeding, medicine, and medical bills for my mother. Even if it's just $1,000 from the $10,000 that you'll give me, I'm fine with that. I promise never to say anything about the extra $10,000 checks that you collected.
Stanley, are you deaf? I said you're not getting a dime.
Okay, sir, could you give me $500 then? I saw the anger on his face. What about $100? I just need to get some medicine for my mother." The director stretched his hands towards me like he was accepting to give me the $100. But all of a sudden, his fist was flying at me, and all I saw was black. When I finally opened my eyes, I felt myself being pushed in something like a cart. Everywhere was dark, but from a tiny hole in the container I found myself in, which seemed to be a cupboard, I could see that I was being wheeled out of the hallway into the hall where the event was happening. I tried to say something, but noticed that my mouth was gagged and covered with duct tape. No one could hear me. My hands and feet were also tied up, so I couldn't move. What the heck was wrong with our director? Whoever was wheeling me stopped when he got into the hall and just left me at a corner. At that very moment, the Mad King picked up his mic to make an announcement.
Fans and lovers, I'm going to change someone's life today. We're going to play a game right now. You see that cake there?
He pointed towards me, and everyone looked on top of the cupboard that I'd been locked in.
I've hidden a tiny check of $1 billion inside it. The waiters are going to cut the cake into tiny pieces and share it, and one lucky person will win the money.
Obviously, the crowd didn't trust the waiters to cut the cake to avoid them winning the money. They gently inched towards the cake. At this point, I realized that I was in danger. I had to get out as quickly as possible. I struggled and managed to free my hands and feet. After that, I ungagged myself and tried to sneak out, but I was too late.
So, this is how it's gonna work. After...
The crowd didn't need to hear more from the Mad King because the cake was already surrounded and people were pinching around it. When others noticed the people pinching, they started pinching too, and next thing, a fight broke out while I struggled to escape amidst the chaos. As elegantly dressed men and women plunged their hands into the expensive cake, eating and searching it like mad people, I carefully crawled out of the cupboard. Unfortunately, the mad crowd managed to knock me out in the chaos. I didn't know how long I was out, but a heavy splash of cold water brought back my consciousness.
You've breached your own employment contract by getting drunk and passing out while on duty. As a result of this, you won't be paid for a full day of work.
What? I didn't drink anything. I was knocked out by the crazy crowd.
2 days for lying.
What? How can you do this? This is all your fault. You knocked me out, gagged me, and put me in the cake cupboard in direct danger. I could have been killed. You should be arrested for this.
3 days for threatening your boss.
I felt a familiar pang of resentment in my soul, but I just kept quiet.
Still have something to say, Stanley?
I just stared at him angrily.
4 days for giving me a bad look. But look at it this way, Stan. You're free to quit if you're unsatisfied with your job. Feel free to quit anytime.
Stanley.
Huh?
It's Stanley. Only close friends are allowed to call me Stan, and you're not one of them.
5 days then, Stan.
He looked at me expecting a reply or a bad look, but I just kept quiet and looked at the floor, defeated. When he was satisfied, he left. I got up to start cleaning. The hall was empty and everyone had gone home. After standing up, I noticed that I had been lying on a huge chunk of cake. I was so happy to see this because I hadn't eaten in a while. The cake was a little bit squashed and dirty, but I didn't mind at all. I happily ate it straight from the floor. While trying to swallow, I noticed that a hard paper was blocking my throat. I curiously pulled it out and couldn't believe what I saw. It was a tiny, customized check card of $1 billion. What? So no one found the check after last night's madness? People must have gone home feeling pretty stupid. No wonder my director was the last to go. I guess he stayed back to make sure there was no cake unturned or squashed in this case. Unfortunately for him, though, he didn't find the one I was laying on. Could this be real? I was probably still unconscious and simply dreaming. I put the tiny check in my pocket and continued cleaning. It was Sunday and I had to round up quickly so I could go spend the day with my mom. When I got home, I noticed that the check was still in my pocket. This was real after all. I wasn't dreaming. I really won $1 billion. After keeping the check in a safe place, I spent the day talking and laughing with my mother.
Tell me the good news.
What do you mean, Mom?
I can see it in your eyes. I know something good has happened.
Shh, it's a secret. You can't tell anyone no matter what, okay?
I promise.
She said in her sick voice. It made me sad that money was stopping her from getting better, but I knew that all that was coming to an end. I told her what happened, and she tried screaming, but her sickness didn't let her. She managed to jump a little bit on her chair, though, and it gave me so much happiness. First thing on Monday morning, which was the next day, I went to the bank to cash the check. On seeing such a high amount and seeing how haggard I was looking, the bank staff had to confirm by calling the owner of the check first. He gave them the go-ahead, and the money was wired into my account. I couldn't believe my eyes. My account had to be upgraded because the previous account type couldn't hold such an amount. The first thing I did with my newfound wealth was to give my mother the best treatment available. I also transferred to a better school and paid all the necessary fees until graduation. I separated, then locked some money for college, invested in stocks and Bitcoin, paid my rent for a few years, and bought necessities that would also last a few years. After that, I bought the company I previously worked in as a janitor. I demoted the director to a janitorial position, then forced him to give all the waiters back the money they won with interest. I collected my $10,000 from him and the $10,000 he stole and gave it to the security guard that helped me that night.